Well, hello, I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the coaching community, the Book Business Bosses, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, be a book business boss. So I have a special guest with me today. Super excited to have her. I looked at her information and all of her websites. Yes, there are multiples. And she has probably as many websites as I do. So we're going to get one, and that will be her headquarters that she'll be promoting today. But I want you to get your pen and your paper ready because my audiences, I know you all are Googling and going on social media to find these phenomenal people who are authors, and she is a multi-book author. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit later, but I want to talk a little bit about her day job and all that good stuff. So I want Miss Letrise Carter to introduce herself, tell us where she's from, and tell us how we can find her on social media and the internet. Letrise?
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Like she said, I am Letrise Carter. I am out of Chicago, Illinois, and my website is latricecarter.com. That is spelled LETRISECARTER.com. I am a published author. I just recently published a short series that's focusing on worth, faith, and your heart. And then I write romance and drama as well. And I do blog, and on my website, I blog about Black women's health, which is very important because I am a breast cancer survivor, a recent breast cancer survivor.
Hallelujah.
And yes, and also I also blog about writing tips and media tips because I am a media expert as well. So I wear multiple hats.
And that's a good thing. And that's a fantastic thing. So I don't know where to start. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, so what inspired you, first off, to be in the accounting finance field? Is that in your family? Did you have a teacher? Where did you get the inspiration for that?
Well, I started out in high school in bookkeeping, and my high school accounting teacher, he kept saying, Trish, you're really good at math and really good at accounting. I like to see you pursue this. So he kept edging me on, and I took more and more advanced classes in high school in accounting, and ended up for my undergraduate degree, I ended up majoring in accounting, graduated with a degree in accounting, worked in public accounting. I've been in accounting for 28 years and worked my way up. Yes.
Oh
And then
my.
I, love numbers so much. When my daughter graduated from high school and she went off to college, I saw fit to go back and get my master's in accounting and financial management.
Oh my.
So yes, so I've made a career of accounting, and accounting is my second love, but my first love has always been writing. Because again, in writing in high school, I won various essay contests, various writing contests all through high school and through college. But my parents were like, back then, writing didn't make money. So um, my parents was like, pick something else because that is not going to work. Because I wanted to do journalism when I was in college, and they were like, no. So I had to stick with accounting, because
Yeah, I
accounting,
know.
you make good money in accounting. And
Yeah.
so so writing was, I had to put writing on the back burner, you
Yeah, I
know.
know. So you see, my parents were the exact same way, but my first love was music. So it was still
Mhm.
in the arts, literary arts, and I love reading, but I really didn't think I wrote that well.
Mhm.
But I did take accounting one, and I took accounting two. I was quote unquote a business major in high school. Back in the
Mhm.
80s. Okay, I'm 58. So back in the 80s, they used to have you in a certain track, and depending
Yep.
on which track you were on, and so I could type very fast. My father bought me a Selectric 2 typewriter when I was a freshman. He kicked his part-time secretary because he was a teacher in the day and entrepreneur at night. Kicked his part-time secretary to the curb and said, ta-da, whip that thing off the top of the cover off the top of that typewriter.
I
Say, you
remember
are my,
those.
I know you remember that. You are officially my new secretary. I thought, oh, yeah. So they did the same thing. Oh no, you cannot be a music major. You will starve to death. You will not do
Hmm.
anything. No, no, no. And so I chose accounting, and I liked it and whatever, but I didn't really love it. I didn't really fall
Right.
in love with it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
No, 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 no. So the books took over. So my senior year in college, I had come too far with accounting to turn back. And
Right.
so, you know how you get into something so far and you're like, well, it can't hurt
I
me.
might as well finish.
Yeah, yeah. Let's at least finish. At least, So I have a BA in accounting, but that's where it stopped. Oh Lord. So yeah, okay. We had the same type of parents of you must be able to take care of yourself. You must be able to survive. Married, not single, we die, go to heaven, whatever. You got to be
Yep.
able to take
Absolutely.
take care of
Absolutely.
yourself. Okay, so what would you tell somebody now who says, "Oh, I want to do journalism. Oh, I want to write full time." What would you tell them? No, you need an
I,
accounting degree.
no, I will tell them if you are truly passionate about writing and this is something that you truly, truly love doing, I will tell them, first of all, find yourself a mentor who is going to guide you and connect you with the right people so that you can get the proper intern roles so you can get your feet in the door because landing in journalism is hard. I have friends who work in journalism and they've told me the horror stories when they first started. It was hard back in our days,
Yeah.
but it's gotten easier. But you need to sign yourself to a mentor and you need to be able to network and just connect with people who will be able to help you open doors. You can get your
Mm.
foot in the door, but you got to got to have those right connections.
Exactly, exactly. And I think this generation now is going to be like, we want to do what we love. We would
Yes.
rather drive for Uber and do and make money to pay the rent and do what we
Mm-hmm.
love than to be stuck
Working,
behind the
slaving in
desk.
corporate
Yeah,
America.
they're not doing it. They would be sleeping on their friend's floor for,
Yes.
and I think that's really important to be. I don't know if I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna sleep on my friend's floor or couch, but
Right.
having that passion, for what you love and do what you love is really required. I mean, I know we're
Mm-hmm.
going to talk about your books later, but you really have to love this. You just eventually are going to have to fall in love with it. Eat, sleep.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to sell 1 million copies. Well, I don't know how many copies you're going to sell. People ask me that first, and I'm like, okay, you going into it
Mm-hmm.
wrong. You got to go into it.
Yeah.
I love
With
it.
your heart. You got to go into with
Exactly.
your heart.
It's like if you don't go into it with your heart in it, it's gonna be just a very, very disappointing and
Mm-hmm.
be a huge, huge problem for you. So yeah, do what you love. But I believe though, my parents also taught me that if you do what you're passionate about, it will pay
It
bills.
will pay off.
It will pay off. It just
Yes,
will.
it
It just
will.
will. You just gotta do what you love. We're gonna take a break right there and we're gonna be right back. Oh my goodness. So hopefully a young person, if you're not a young person and you know a young person who is involved in getting ready to go to college, and congratulations on all the recent graduates, but they need to hear that empowerment. So be sure and share that with them because it's a hard road. It's a rough road. So I'm here with my guest, Miss Letrise Carter. I have to bring her back for something else, something else business related. But I really want to switch gears just a little bit and talk about entrepreneurship because even though I know she has this powerful day job in finance and numbers, and I think that's the reason why I didn't do it. It's too much numbers and not enough people. So I like, I really enjoy working with people. And some days I don't like people, but then most of the days I do like people.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about entrepreneurship, because I know right now this is kind of the time of the woman,
Yes.
time of the Black woman at that. And of course, with
Yes.
you being in the Chicago area, suburbs, in the city, wherever, you know what that looks like. So let's just talk about it. 'Cause I've been in business 13 years. You've been an entrepreneur part-time. I don't say side hustle because no matter how much time do you devote for it, you got to be on your hustle and grind no matter what.
Yep.
And then with a actual day job, quote unquote, 28 years in finance, hopefully you'll get to retirement soon. Yay! And be
Yes,
able to
I have
be,
a 5-year plan. I
yeah, all
said I'm
right,
going to retire
yay!
early. So yes, so I
Let's do
can
that
write full
5-year
time.
plan. Yeah, let's
Yes,
do that.
yes.
Let's do that 5-year plan. So let's talk a little bit about what that looks like for you, not just your 5-year plan, but business. I mean, how committed do you need to be? Because you already, you got a job, you got benefits, hallelujah. But what
Yeah.
brings you, what pulls you to work that? Because we'll talk about all the things you do on in your other life, in the
Hmm.
first life and in your other life. So what is the motivating factor?
It's the motivating factor for me is that I love to write, and I love making people smile. I love making people think. But most important, I love empowering people and giving them advice on something that for them to have an aha moment. And I think
Right.
I'm still in Oprah's word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Aha.
yeah. Come on. Well, she's a neighbor. Chicago, she's a neighbor.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. So, I like having those moments. And I am such a person. I'm one of those people that knowledge is power.
Yes, it
And
is.
once we realize that you don't have to work for somebody else to build somebody else's dream, when you can be working to build your own dream. And that's another motivator for me. That pushes me because, I look at, the company I work for and I'm going, okay, I see your objectives and your goals. What about mine?
Yes.
And if I'm going to work all these hours to build your dream, what am I doing to build my dream? Because you don't want to have those regrets. Because I always go back and look back at Black Wall Street. They were successful,
Yes.
very successful, and they weren't educated.
No.
They were not educated. They were smart. They were
Yes.
very smart, and they
Yes.
had very successful businesses. We were not meant to work for somebody.
No.
We
No.
were meant to be the employer.
Yes.
And that is the mindset that motivates me and keeps me driving through this whole process. And that's probably why I have so many different ventures, because I dream of owning multiple businesses. And for me, I want to leave that legacy because that's who we are. That's who our people are. And I just want to pass that down to my children, grandchildren, and just keep it going.
Right. Well, I mean that I agree wholeheartedly. That whole piece, and of course, we're just now finding and discovering about Black Wall Street. I mean, I'm like,
Yes.
it's a 100-year anniversary in 2021. Like, really? Like, who? What? And they were murdered for what? And they burned down all
Right.
their businesses because of why? So therefore, it is a very, very motivating fact. Now, I saw this work full
I
time in
watched
the
the
daytime.
Oprah special.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's in my blood to see it. And the LeBron James, did he co-write that with Oprah? Was that part of Oprah's?
I
Because
don't
LeBron
know. I
James did
know
one
it
too.
was Oprah. Yeah.
Yeah, she did
I mean,
one and he did one too.
I cried
Yeah,
and this was like, oh my God.
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it's really disheartening. So therefore, we take the tragedies of our ancestors and
Mm-hmm.
people who preceded us and let that be fuel for our own
Yes.
fire. Let that be fuel to
To
continue
ignite
to
us.
move us further. Okay,
Yep.
so for someone who works full time in the day and has their businesses at night right now, currently,
Mm-hmm.
until our 5-year plan, I speak that into existence, 5-year plan of retirement, and you can work full time. Because I had that plan. I said, this is not going to work. I'm not going to be able to teach these children for 27 years. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. So what are we going to do in the meantime? You have to look around and say, okay, wait a minute. This is not going to work for me. Not for me. Other people can sit here for 27, 30, 35 years and
Mm-hmm.
teach these little bad children, but I'm not the girl. Okay, so what do I need to get to a place and what do I need to do? So what are a couple of things? Because I know when you come from your own, besides just the whole motivating, I'm motivated, I want to do it, you still have to do it. So
Yeah.
what are a couple other things that tricks and tips that you use to not only just stay motivated to do that, but you have to be organized? That
Yes,
could
I,
be, so
I
what
had
does
to
that do?
realize I couldn't do it by myself, especially when I started to grow. So I stepped out on faith. I hired a team. I have an assistant. I have editors. I have a group of women that believe in my vision and support my vision, and we work together to grow my businesses. And that is what's keeping me going. That is what's motivating me even more. And I'm looking at ways. Well, how can I raise money for this? I need to raise money for that. Let me see how I can do. So I'm reaching out, taking on a partnership, because I'm like, okay, if I really want to grow this business and really walk away from corporate America, I got to have a real plan.
Yeah.
Investments, raising capital, how I'm gonna grow my business, sitting down with a financial advisor, a financial planning person to help me get those resources that I need to grow my business. Contemplating whether or not I want to do a small business loan and really put myself out there and just be able to walk away. I've even deciphered pulling from my 401k. I'm like, okay, it's 28 years, I can pull some
No,
money.
no, and no. My husband would say, no,
I
not
know, and
right
I know. And I was like, you 50, you only 50. And I said I wanted to retire from corporate America by age 55. I said, okay, what can I do
now. Hmm.
to make it happen quicker? I was like, okay, I have my book business, I have my magazine, I have my media business. And I was like, okay, so one of them need to grow exponentially to match my current salary in order for me to walk away from corporate America.
Right, right, right.
So I'm working with a mentor right now, trying to come up with a plan to see how we can grow that business. So, and that's the other partner that's coming on board. And I'm like, okay, you bring your clients over to me over here, and we can combine our clientele. Then I can really see Sisters Creative Media grow. So we're like in the process of restructuring and rebranding that. So I'm like, okay,
What is
God,
Sisters Creative Media
Sisters
do? I know
Creative
you're in
Media.
restructuring, but what is it designed to do?
Well, Sisters Creative Media pretty much is a media manager that works with small businesses and authors, helping them get the media exposure that they need to be able to grow their brand, as well as building websites. Because I meet so many authors, they don't have a website, and they're like, "Well, I use Facebook." Facebook is not your website.
Yeah, it
You need
is.
to have a place.
That's
You need to
it.
have a place where your customers can go to learn about you.
Yep.
That's how you can grow your book business. And come on, you treat your book business. Your book is a business.
Yes, it is.
Temporary. You don't have a website. Where are your fans going? Oh,
Right.
they can find me on Facebook. That's not realistic, because if
Yeah.
Facebook shuts down tomorrow, guess
That's
what?
it.
All your content is gone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
All your customers gone.
Gone. That's it. That's it.
So that's one of the things that Sisters Creative Media does, is we help authors and small businesses brand themselves, but we also help them reach different streaming channels for media exposure, because media exposure is so important.
Mhm.
Borrowing other people's audience to grow your brand and get yourself out there. Because I have other clients that they figure, oh, I'm published now, I'm done. No, you're not.
Oh Lord,
You're
you
not
just
done.
get
That
started,
book
baby.
cannot sell itself.
No, that's right.
It can't.
That's right.
And that's what we do.
Yeah.
We sit and we work with those authors and small businesses. I have some small business owners that launch a business out of their home, and I'm like, okay, do your PO box. I know you launched it out of home. That's okay. That's a start. But let's get the process going. Get a PO box. You need to make it an LLC. Get it out of that sole proprietor, because keeping it as a sole proprietor. Guess what? Their liability is on you.
That's right. And you don't get to write off things. So, I mean, it's a good place to start. That's where I started
Yes.
too. But you
Yes.
don't get to write off. I mean, everywhere I go, everywhere I am, that is a business write-off, because so when I meet with authors, so when I go out of town for book events, that's all,
Yeah.
I mean, all of that is business
Yeah.
related. Every time I move out of my house, that is a business, that's
Business
a business
expense.
trip. I'm moving
Absolutely.
full time. And I try to tell people that all the time. I said, no, but I don't want Uncle Sam knowing what I'm doing. I said, but you don't get the benefits of Uncle Sam either.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So that's a whole about being an entrepreneur. You know, we
Yeah,
have to think outside the box and stop thinking inside this little small box and putting ourselves in this box, and we're limiting ourselves. And so
yeah.
that's one of the things I coach. Well, I'm not necessarily coach, but I teach to all of my clients.
You're
You know,
coaching too. Let me just
I'm
say that
coaching
you're
too.
coaching too. Yeah, you're coaching too. But I mean, it's like it's good seeing you, and everything you're saying is like having my own words come back to me, so I know I'm on the right track.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because that is really so important. I mean, we've had times here recently where Facebook has shut down, and as your
Yep.
Twitter working,
Twitter.
what
Yep.
happened to Instagram? It
Yep.
didn't want to didn't show my pictures today. Right, baby, because that's not your house. That's not your
Yes.
your your
Yes.
you're working in somebody else's house. It's just like working for corporate
Yes.
America. Anything, you're subject to
Mm-hmm.
their rules. You're subject to
Yep.
what they decide. And if they say, we're not going to
Yep.
let your video show. Well, I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
you do. You can jump up and down all you want to, but your videos won't be showing, and your
That's
pictures
right.
might not either.
That's right. That's right. And you won't get put on punishment if you put too much
Oh my
about
Lord.
black,
I
about
know
being
it.
black,
Oh
Black
yeah.
Lives Matter. I've had a few
Ooh-wee.
friends that got suspended, got their account suspended for. I was like, she texted me, I'm on suspension.
Yeah, I know. She in Facebook
Okay.
jail. She in Facebook jail. I know.
Facebook jail.
I know it. That's the reason why some political things I don't comment on. I just keep rolling. It's not that I
Mm-hmm.
don't have an opinion, but
Yeah.
and for our international audiences, I know you're looking at America going, "What in the world are they doing over there?" But I know you have your issues too
Yes.
with Facebook and social media and all of it around there. So therefore, having your own headquarters, having your own space, your own website is so critical and definitely, definitely so important, darn important. Okay, so besides the writing piece, what is the idea behind the magazine?
The idea behind the magazine is to shine the light on those indie authors, indie and national authors who they're not the big names. It's a little bit hard for them to get into some of the major magazines because guess what? They don't have the following. They don't have the established brand. You are what they might consider a nobody. So we shine the light on indie authors to give them that spotlight, to showcase their talent. And it's just not just indie authors, but it's also celebrities who are having a positive impact on the community. We've had several celebrities on our covers, which has been a beautiful blessing. I've had the opportunity to talk to many veterans celebrities, and they've shared their knowledge and their wisdom with us for the younger generations as well. But it's purposely to just shine a spotlight on my brothers and sisters, Black and brown, to showcase their talents and their gifts and to
Right.
share their gifts with the world.
And what's the name of the
It's called
what's the name of
Sister's
it?
Place.
Sister's
Um,
Place.
and it's like a little southern thing because my nickname growing up was Sister.
Oh, okay.
And my grandparents used to always come, let's come sit on the porch and, have, a little conversation. So I called it
Mm-hmm.
Sister's Place.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Oh my gosh, Miss Latrice, I can't wait till your media company gets back up and rebranded and all that good stuff.
August 2nd. August
August 2nd.
2nd.
Okay. August 2nd, 2021. Especially indie authors and people, and even small business owners who
Yes.
are looking to take your media a spotlight to the next brand. Reach out, reach out. We're going to take another break. We'll be back with more.
Oh.
And we're back with Miss Letrise Carter. Oh my goodness. So we have business, we have a magazine, she blogs on her site. And my favorite segment is always about the books. So Miss Latrice, tell us about your books.
Okay, so I recently wrote a short series and I accidentally stumbled into this genre, new adult fiction for women, women and young women. It's titled the Lucy Mason series. It's 3 parts. Lucy's Worth, which is about a young girl. She starts at the age 16 till she's 20. She has low self-esteem. She doesn't believe in herself. She doesn't value herself. And then she has her first boyfriend, and her first boyfriend, unfortunately, is a bad boy who's actually not good for her because he's abusive. So she has to learn, and she's going to learn really quick what her worth is. And through this journey, she's also going to discover in book 2 her faith, because her faith is tested. She has to learn how to forgive. She has to learn how to repair a relationship with her mother, because she has issues with her mother in book 1. So book 2 is Lucy's faith, and in book 3 is Lucy's heart. She's going to open up her heart to love, because now she doesn't trust men because of that one bad experience that she had. And having such a bad experience, she puts all Black men into the same category.
Sure.
No good, dirty, abusive. And so when that nice guy does come along, who's treating her like a queen that she is, she doesn't value it. She doesn't recognize it, and she's constantly comparing him to the past. So she has to learn how to open her heart, and she has to learn how to let go of the past in order for her to walk into her future. And she finds love.
Okay, so is this considered young adult?
No, because she has sex. So it's new adult.
This is adult. Okay.
Yeah, new adult. Age is 18 to 26.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because she's going to grow from age 16 to 26 through the 3 books, through the 3 stories.
3 books. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. So I can see some 16-year-olds sliding in there though, right?
Yeah. I actually sent this to my niece.
Like, I can read it.
Yeah, I just sent it to my niece because it's not explicit, but the fact that I mentioned making love. So, and I was told, well, we can't have that in young adults.
Right.
There's some young adult reviewers and organizations that will come after you.
Yeah. True. So, so besides this series, which sounds like a wonderful series for young women, let's just say young women.
Yes.
Period. 18 and up. Wonderful. So what else have you written?
And I've also written Deceitful Secrets, was my very first novel in 2017. It's heated, it's hot, it's a romance thriller. It's it's a romance thriller. It is about a young lady who she has a past with her husband's brother. Yes, baby. And the husband does not know about the past. He just knows that they were friends.
Oh.
He just knew that she was real good friends with his brother coming through college. But what he don't know, they used to be flex buddies.
Okay, so do you have your name on it, or is it a pen name?
Oh no, it's Deceitful Secrets. My name is on this bad baby, and this is for grown folks.
Well, you know my grown folks series. I don't put my name on it.
Well, this for grown folks. There's some cussing in here. There's some sex things in here.
Okay.
This grown folks.
Grown folks. Okay, adults. All right, yeah.
So this and the cliffhanger. There's the drama is, not only does Taylor have a past, but her husband, he has a weakness. He's a pretty boy. He can't, he has a thirst. He has a hunger for, he gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
He gotta have it. And his brother Kelly, so it's Taylor, Devin, and Kelly. Devin and Taylor are the married couple, and those two are always getting into something. And there's one person who can rescue them, but that same person who can rescue them, he can also destroy their marriage.
Oh, look at you. Dun, dun, dun. You got to get it. Ooh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the books we can get at LetriceCarter.com?
Yes. And Deceitful Secrets 2, the long-awaited sequel to it, Truth and Lies, is coming out late September, early October.
Okay, just in time for the holidays.
just in time for the holidays. And then in December, the book 3, because I introduced a whole new character called Charlie's Revenge, comes out in December.
What is that a whole new series, or is that book 3 of that?
It's Deceitful Secrets has a full series. It's 3 books in the series. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. So yeah.
So what's after this series? Okay, so we're done with that series in December. So you got to give us the heads up. What's coming in 2022?
2022, I actually just finished writing the outline and summary for a mystery thriller called A Sister's Betrayal.
Come on, sister.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm super excited.
But oh my gosh, that's the reason why I'm like, ooh, what's next? What's next? Because when I'm in fiction mode, I have to stay there, because otherwise it takes me a long time to get. Okay, so give me 2 tips, because I know I got to let you go. So give me 2 tips you would give for new writers, somebody who's just starting out. Ooh, I want to write a novel. Ooh, I want to write fiction, or I just want to write a book, period. What would be
2 tips, and I actually just wrote about this in my blog. You need a book plan. Sit down and plan out your book. And what I mean by plan out your book, plan out a timeline for first draft, second draft, a timeline so you can sit down and have your beta readers read your book by the time you finish your second draft. Sit down with your beta readers, have them read the first 20 pages, and make sure your beta group, it doesn't have to be a big group. So maybe like less than 5 people. Don't have too many people reading that book, because you don't need that book circulating all everywhere. And I strongly advise you to create a private group, either a private group on Facebook, or you create some type of private group on Google Doc, and have it as the document where they cannot download, they can only read it on the screen, because you do not want your book circulating out here and somebody else done uploaded your stuff to Amazon. Yeah. So a book plan, plan out when you're going to submit it to a editor. You need a professional editor, development editor, line structure editor, proofreading, please, and get professional book cover design, professional book marketing, book formatting. Yeah. You got to have that. And then part of your book plan, you should have a book marketing strategy. Yeah. Because you got to have a plan. You just can't create a book, put it out there, and think it's going to sell itself. It's not. No. It's not. So, and then the second one, and then my second tip would be to, number 1, you got to get book reviews. So you need to connect with some authors, get them to read, give them a free copy, read your book, and ask them to write a review for you. Bloggers, connect and build a relationship with bloggers so they can blog about your book and do a book review. Book reviews are very, very important. So those 2 tips are the tips I got for you. Those are humongous. Both of those tips are really huge. And the first one and the second one, my first book, I didn't do neither one of them. God said write, and that's all I did. But now that I know better, I can do better. And having a plan of where it's going to go and what it's going to do. I still write because I love it. I'm like you, Letrise. I'll write because I love it. But after so long, you really do have to have a plan, figure out how you're going to roll it out, and how you're actually going to make it happen. So if you need help with that, schedule a time and reach out and send an email to Ms. Letrise Carter. And if you came late, her name is Letrise Carter. That's all lowercase, all together, no spaces, no underscore. Letrise Carter, LetrisseCarter.com. Check out our website. It will inform you, it will enlighten you, and there'll be plenty of things for you to purchase. Thank you, Ms. Letrise, for being my guest today. It is incredible. We will be in touch very, very soon. You be blessed and have an awesome day. Bye-bye. You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.